That's something a lot of developers struggle with kind of early, like in their testing career, maybe, or at least I did, where it's pretty rare that I write unit tests for anything.
It is a pretty cool code base. Maybe one day you open source that. I want to ask you, Taylor, about testing a little bit. If we look at Laravel products today, like all of them have thousands of tests. Vapor, Cloud, Forge, and the framework itself have more than 10,000, I believe, tests at this point. But I want to ask you about you on fresh projects, for example. What is your approach regarding testing on fresh projects when you have to start a new one? Would you do feature tests only? Would you do feature and unit tests? What level would you use? What do you think about this?
I almost only write feature tests, to be honest. It's pretty rare that I write unit tests for anything. I think that was a big change in my testing style or philosophy, I guess, was Ada Wathan's testing course, test-driven Laravel, where he's very strong on feature test, I think, is the most important test you could write, or the most valuable test. And the whole point of testing is to be able to refactor the software without changing your tests, and I think that's something a lot of developers struggle with kind of early, in their testing career, maybe, or at least I did, where your tests are so coupled to the implementation. It's everything you change in the code, you have to change the test to perfectly match it, which is such a smell, that something is not right. So yeah, I almost only write feature tests at the controller level, basically, and just send a request, inspect the response, inspect the database, make sure everything matches.
It's funny because I actually knew this answer that you were about to give because I jumped into I don't know if this is public or not, but at some point you were starting a fresh project called Beep because you wanted to try out some of the latest features of a new version of Laravel. And on that project, which is private, but I know that you have a bunch of feature tests, probably 98% is feature tests, and you have very little unit tests for very specific cases.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to go back and look at that and remind myself what I did.
It is a pretty cool code base. Maybe one day you open source that so people can see a little bit what Beep was actually about.
Yeah.